same exercise. Oh, ran out of treats. Sorry, bud. And this is, by the way, part of the value, yes, of using a reward marker is that I can have latency between when I mark the behavior and when I reward the dog. So it didn't matter that I didn't have treats in my pocket. Realistically, when your dog understands the reward marker, you have up to 30 seconds easily to actually give them a reward, right? So this idea that they have to get instant feedback, yes, but that can be verbal that is indicative of something tangible that's going to happen afterwards, right? So I'm going to shorten up my leash again, and we're going to start walking towards this table. I'm going to apply pressure from the moment I give the command until the action is completed to start. Kennel. Yes. So pressure turns off, right? Comfort is restored when he does the right thing. And then I mark and reward, right? So we're using our dual reinforcement. Kennel. Yes. We're going to go up just a little bit on the collar. Kennel. Yes. Good boy. There, big piece right here. There you go. Good job, buddy. We're at 10 again. Kennel. See how we're getting him to leave my side? We're teaching a go out first, right? So you're going to use this to send him to his dog bed when he's in your face and you don't really want him to be. You can use it when you're trying to get carry out from the guy at the door and he wants to bark at that guy or say hi to him. You can send him to a place, right? This is also, you can start working on him. You can do lining drills to a remote location, right? So that's going to help him with retrieving later, blind retrieving in particular, right? And then I'll show you very quickly, once he understands this, you can even start casting in directions, right? At an easy level before you force fetch your dog, right? Yes. Happily waits there that whole time because he's hopeful what he's gonna get, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not having to fight with him a whole lot because I did a little bit of work telling him like he's got to stay committed there, right? So I'm having a conversation with you and your dog is being quiet and still and patiently waiting for me to get done what I'm doing so that he gets what he wants. As long as I acknowledge him for that, he's happy to do it, right? Kennel. Yes. Good man. Kennel. Yes. All right, so we've been applying pressure from the moment I give the command until he completes the action. My next step, because he's doing this well, is I'm going to apply pressure from the moment I give the command until he shows commitment to the behavior. So I'm going to say the command, and then as soon as he starts moving that direction, I'm going to stop tapping.
Yeah.
Right? So we'll do that now. Kennel. And I'll let him go the rest of the way. Some dogs, when we get to this step, they're like, wait, he stopped tapping, so I'm going to stop moving. We just would repeat the command and reinitiate pressure.
Okay.
Yes. Nice boy.
So it's okay to repeat the command, like, you don't just want to have to say, I mean, like, where do you toe the line of, like, you don't have to want to say it multiple times?
So we're getting there. This is still, we're kind of like in a teaching phase.
Sure.
But when we get to the end, I'm going to give the command, and then I expect him to do it without pressure.
Okay.
If he doesn't respond correctly or somewhere along the way he quits, then I'm going to re-cue the behavior. I'll say the command again, but I'm going to put force on it the next time, right? Kennel. Yes. Nice boy. You're a good boy. This is why I'm trying to work with more sporting breeds. Just easier dogs to work with.
Well, that's one way of looking at it, I guess.
So I've been moving back a lot when I'm rewarding him, so I'm gonna make a point to like make sure that he doesn't think that's a cue.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
Everything that I do with my body, everything I say can have meaning if he ascribes meaning to it.
Right.
So I need to make sure that he doesn't think he's that he doesn't think that that means he's allowed to get off, right? And then when things are going well, we start breaking the rules a little bit. Pressure's supposed to be guidance on what you're supposed to do. He's like, I'm not falling for that, Nate. Got me in trouble last time, right? Yes. And then I want him to understand, right, that he's allowed to move. The one thing I'm doing wrong right now is I'm marking and I'm already sticking my hand in my pocket. They're too close together. I need to give him a marker and wait a little bit more.
Okay.
Right? So this is something I'm going to be cognizant of. Kennel. Yes. And then I'm going to help him off. Okay. You see how I didn't stick my hand in my pocket that time? He's slower to get off. It's because they don't pay attention to what we say as much as they pay attention to everything else, right? How we move. Like they pay attention to touch most, right? And then they pay attention to body language. And then this is last.
Okay.
Kennel. See, I'm only tapping once now when I tell him what to do. And so then the next step after this is we fade out all of the pressure. Yes. Gretchen, this guy. Kennel. Tried to give him just one, didn't respond, so we applied pressure the rest of the way, right? So these phases of training that we're in, people think they went through a door and then that door locked and they can't go backwards, right? We just had to take a bit of a step back, and that's okay. You're going to do that a bunch.
Yeah.
And if you're not scared to do that, you will make progress a lot faster. Where people have trouble is they think they're in the next step of training and then they're unwilling to go back, or they never really were certain that they were ready to move on, and now they have a confused dog and they think applying more force to a confused dog is going to help, and that never helps anyone, right? Like if I hold a gun to your head and I'm like, do multiplication tables, you know, it's like you're too stressed to be able to think about what you're supposed to do. Yes. Nice, man. This makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll work on send away, and then once send away is good, I like to work on opposing behaviors, right? So we're going to start working on recall. When I work on recall, I don't want to have this out. Again, I want to make sure that there's different pictures for the dog